So, hey, so check this out. This is kind of weird. I've got my phone here. His name is Paul Revere. And I've got my computer here. It doesn't have a name. My phone isn't actually called Paul Revere. But my phone says it's 8:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the a.m. of September 1st. My computer says 9 o'clock. So I guess I'm on time or early. How's that? How's that? All right. Thank you, TikTok. TikTok. TikTok for notifying my viewers. All right. Good morning, folks. Shirley Reeves is joining us. Linda B is joining us. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Smiles, everyone smiles. Gabrielle, welcome. Welcome, everybody. If you care to do so, I'm not being nosy, I'm just curious. I would be interested in, Angela, nice to see you. I would be curious to know, what state are you tuning in from? So I am in Pennsylvania. I am on the East Coast of the United States of America. About, I don't know, depending on traffic, I'm either like 40 minutes or 2.5 hours away from Philadelphia. Am I right, people? Am I right? Texas. Deep in the heart of Texas. Linda B, Massachusetts. Make it in Massachusetts. Remember those bumper stickers with the little, the blue ones with the little thumb like that? You can make it in Massachusetts. Midnight Train to Georgia. Angela's there. Oh my God. Can I tell you, I am turning into my dad. He would have a song for like everything. Okay. Indiana, Gary, Indiana. See, there we go. Barbara L 836. Maybe you and Gabrielle. Who knows? You could be neighbors. I know that's a big state. I remember learning how big Texas was in 4th grade. Check me out. Not actually, it's more like 5th grade, but realizing kind of where and what Texas was. Not because we learned the states when I was growing up. Oh, no. I was Gen X. All we ever did was do the freaking, what was it? Bicentennial and all that stuff, right? The reason I knew where Texas was is because I used to watch the Monkees on reruns in the 70s, and I had a crush on Mike Nesmith, and he was from Texas, so I went to see where he was. Anyhow, good morning, Miss Prentice. Nice to see you. Welcome, everybody who's kind of just tuning in. You know what? It's Friday. It's Friday. It's the 1st of September. Bunny, bunny, bunny. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. I don't know if you have that. I am here. Betsy, nice to see you. Wonder Lady, good morning. Ms. Prentice, thank you for sharing the live. Encourage more viewers to share. I guess they're telling me that I'm supposed to encourage you to share this if you want to. Trust me. I tend to be very, you can't tell me what to do, so I'm not going to do what TikTok tells me to do. You don't have to do what I tell you to do, all right? We all have our own autonomy, all right? Christy Wright, nice to see you. Pinky Silver Chloe. Dana. Rocket Queen 17. Sounds like a great beginning for a song. I love it. Thank you for liking and sharing. If you haven't met me before, all right, we've got enough people here that I feel like it's time for an introduction. So my name is Beth. I would so much rather you remember Destination Decluttered. I think I'm looking up here, I see my little logo. Somewhere you might be seeing my logo too. I am a decluttering life coach. What does that mean? Is I help you get decluttered in your home in a life coachy way, so we make room in your life for what you want to do. Not just making your house pretty. A pretty house, there isn't anything wrong with a pretty house, but how about a pretty house that is so simple to maintain, that makes it so easy to live in, that you just have so much more time in your life to do the things you want to do, and not just buying stuff and cleaning stuff and always decluttering, right? I want you to learn to declutter the backlog of stuff that you've accumulated between whenever and now. Get the balance right, as Depeche Mode would say, and then learn different habits while you're doing it, so moving forward, you don't even clutter like that used to it. Rocket Queen 17, can you move in? Nice to see everybody. Pardon me, I'm going to take Coffee Talk. Oh, Coffee Talk with Mama Rita. Nice to see you. I'll see you next week, right? Oh, I'm telling you, someday, some way, I'm going to find a lipstick that does not smudge on my cup. A one that I like that doesn't make me feel like I got plastic on it. Anyhow, good morning, everybody. Decluttering Life Coach, Destination Decluttered. I am here for you for the next 56 minutes or so. Then I hop into a day of coaching one-on-one with my clients, some consultations with possibly new clients. But I am here for you for free right now to help you. Where are you stuck, clutter-wise and otherwise? You get some projects. I don't know. It's a long weekend for some of us. You get any projects that you're kind of like, oh, I know I should do that, but I don't want to. Wah, right? Let's help with that. Let's get you moving. All right, and moving in the right direction. Now let me explain to you if you haven't met me before. I I found really one of the main things that changed my life from ho hum to like OMG was realizing how interesting and fun and easy and all the good stuff it was when I decided to treat my life like a road trip instead of a commute. Okay, so during this call, you will hear me talk about where we are now on the map. You and I, we're all on a road trip called life. You are here on the map, right? What is your destination? If you don't know it, let's work on that. Okay. Kristen Bedard says the paper blizzard. Ooh, the blizzard of paper, right? Yeah. Rocket Queen says I get some things done, but I get stuck. Notice when you get stuck. Okay. Callie Rose, happy Friday. Yes. So here's what I want to riff on. All right. So paper blizzard, Kristen. First of all, notice the papers you have in your home. Just get curious. Curiosity is going to be your buddy on this road trip. Along with me, curiosity, love for yourself, for your life, and curiosity and taking action is going to get you where you want to go. Just get curious about the papers that comprise the paper blizzard. Isn't this a funny thing? We are supposed to be in the era of digital and paperless and all that, yet sometimes I feel like we have more paper than ever. Am I right? Funny thing is, too, is oftentimes the paper we have in our home is a paper duplicate of something that already exists elsewhere electronically. I think about this with like pretty much all the bills I get, the statements, the bills, all of these things, right? Get curious about the papers you have. And here's what I want to suggest to you. This is something that this is not even paper. This is clutter-wise. Get curious about what you have in your home and then categorizing it. What is it? Papers is a category. In your paperwork, there are subcategories, right? You get junk mail, you get bills, you get junk mail, you have what I like to say, important looking documents that I'm supposed to read, but I probably won't, but I'm afraid if I throw it away, I'm going to get in trouble, right? So whatever your categories are, just get curious about that, okay? Then the reason I suggest that you categorize these things is because when you categorize them, what you're doing is you're batching kind of like items together. So this comes up a lot when I was a manager for Pier 1 Imports, when I was in visual merchandising for Mikasa, all these things. When you batch things together, you can make one decision that affects all of them. So it preserves your decision-making energy, right? Just think about that. I say right a lot because you know what? Because I'm right? Even though I'm left-handed, I'm right. Okay. So just think about that. That might be enough to get you started, Kristen. And then say, do I really need this? Do I really need to keep these papers? Why am I keeping this paper? It might just be because of habit. Okay. Maybe you have clutter in your home because you probably do just because of habits. You used to keep things and it made sense to do it now. Get curious. Who are you now? Where are you in the journey of your life, on the road trip of your life today, September 1st, 2023? How old are you? How far away are you from birth? I know I'm getting deep here, people. I know it's early. And how close are you to, the big unmentionable destination that we're all going towards, death? Okay. Where are you now? And what do you want your life to look and feel like starting now and moving forward towards your destination? When you start to define your destination, when you define it, when you start to get all freaking hopping up and down, excited about what your home could look and feel and function like, that energy is going to encourage you. It's going to give you courage, right? It's going to give you courage to do the things you need to do, right? Oh my gosh, I have to stop saying right. I'm going to put like a little right thing. Notice I have a speaking habit that you don't realize until you realize it. Notice this too. When you feel discouraged, you don't do anything. You stay stuck. You maybe Rocket Queen 17 is saying, I get some things done, but then I get stuck. Notice where you get stuck. You get discouraged. You slow your roll. You stop driving towards your dreams. Just notice where that happens. And invariably, that happens because of a thought in your head that causes you to lose energy, to kind of pull your foot off the gas, off the gas, Johnny. until you might be rolling to a stop, or maybe slam on the brakes, Notice that. Notice where you get stuck and just get curious about the thought in your head that caused you to do that. Because when you discover what that thought is, you can do something to change it. Okay? That can be something. Okay? Corinna Cox is saying, best advice for closets and dresser drawers. I will answer that. So I like to be very clear. I like to make my things so freaking clear. I hate jargon. The only thing you will notice me do probably, I try to speak in really clear, simple terms because that's how my brain works. Because I don't want to translate something in from obscure, like, look at how cool I am, jargon into real words. It's just exhausting to do it. The one thing you will notice about me, though, and talk about like a verbal tick or just something that I like to do, is I find delight in what I call like alliterations. So notice destination decluttered, right? Notice some of those things are going to pop up in how I communicate. And here's one I want to give you. It's like the 3 S's, okay? Your clutter is surface clutter, stored clutter, sentimental clutter. Pretty much every item in your home is going to fall into one of those categories. I recommend you start decluttering in that same order, surface to stored to sentimental, and that is intentional. Now I'm getting closets and dresser drawers are stored clutter right in the middle there. Now notice, and this is another thing that I think is kind of fun, is I noticed when I started talking about this, all of these words that I'm going to give you kind of rhyme, so maybe that will help you remember it. So think about it, stored clutter, stored, closets and dresser drawers, right? So I like to say drawers and doors, like closets, like I got a closet right here, right? It's behind a door or it's in a drawer. So this can be in many rooms of your house. It can be in the bedroom. It can be like the cabinet doors in your kitchen, your drawers in your anywhere, right? Behind doors and drawers is your stored clutter, right? Your stored clutter is behind your doors and drawers. And here's my mantra for that. You got to sort it before you store it. So pulling the stuff out, looking at it, asking yourself, what is this? Why do I want it? Why do I have it? Do I want it now? I may have wanted it then back in the day, no matter how far away that was or just recently. I thought I wanted it. Do I want it now? Do I want it now? And also, does this fit with the life how I want my home to look and feel? Just ask yourself those questions. That will help you make a decision about, should I stay or should I go? If it stays in your house, where do you put it? If you don't want it, what's the easiest way to get out of your house, right? Over and over and over again, that's the same thing you do. The one thing I will say is, crap, I just totally I fell off the branch right there. I had something good to say, and then my brain started talking to me. I'm a real person, right? We get distracted. I guess maybe this was it. Notice how I said surface, stored, and sentimental? I suggest that you start with the surface clutter first, okay? Because this does a couple of things. Surface clutter is the stuff that's on any of your kind of horizontal surfaces, right? You got your floor is a surface, your desk is a surface, your kitchen table, all your tables are surfaces, bookshelves, any of these surfaces that have stuff on them. Usually that is because of one of two things, is because of the fact that you simply haven't put something where it should go, right? It has a home and it's just not there. Even trash in the trash, laundry in the laundry, all that. It has a place it's supposed to be, but it's not, okay? But the other thing is too, if maybe it's on the surface because there is no place to put it. Now, that's a good thing to be informed about, because then when you are sorting your stored clutter, you are making room for the things you want to store. Also, when you do your surfaces, it simply gives you a workspace, an area for you to dump out a drawer or some of your closet. So you actually have a space to sort it before you determine to store it. I think the other thing I was going to say, so I'll say it now, is please, oh please, oh please, 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 do not overwhelm yourself with thoughts, with all of it. I'm going to dump it all out. I'm going to take all the drawers, all the clothes out of my closet, right? Be strategic so you don't burn out and get yourself into a worse position, right? I say this because you need to chunk it down. Anybody who's tuned in before and I talk about overwhelm is over you. There's a video on my TikTok page about this. Overwhelm is over you. Think down. chunk it down, write it down, breathe down smaller chunks of things. So like if you're going to do a bureau, right? You're going to do oh my God, I just said right. You're going to do a bureau. Pull one drawer out. What are the items in that one drawer? Deal with that one drawer, then go to the next, then go to the next. This will minimize the chance that you will make it look temporarily, this will happen at some point. At some point during all of this process, things will look and feel temporarily worse before they get permanently better. So just notice that. But, if you pull everything out and then you get overwhelmed and tired and then you walk away, you've just made more of a mess. So no, that might happen. So just start small. Maybe even say, I'm going to do it for 20 minutes. I'm going to get I'm just going to deal with this one little section of my closet and make decisions on these things. And then if I'm done with those, then I'll go on to the next one. Chunk it down. Okay. There we go. So here's a funny thing. And I'm looking up at my little Pee Wee Herman thing. I was just thinking I turned this into Pee Wee's Playhouse, and please do not scream real loud as I say the word right. It is not the word of the day. Okay, what do we have? Callie Rose. I had a vacation and I still haven't unpacked from that. And that was a month ago. Any advice for that? Sure. Callie Rose. Wicked easy question. Why haven't you unpacked? Not judgy. I'm so not judgy. I'm just curious. Why haven't you unpacked? I don't know. What's the reason that you gave yourself to not unpack? Get curious about that, and that will help you. Then say, does that make sense to me now? A month later, is that right? I love to unpack when I get back from a trip because my clothes smell, right? And I also have random stuff. I mean, when I pack, I travel a lot. That's one of the things in my destination of my life is traveling a wicked lot, right? And you can tell I'm from Massachusetts because I say wicked, and that is not the word. That is a word I am not going to eliminate from a lexicon, okay? When I go on a trip, boy, I've got my packing cubes, I've got this and that, and everything's neat and tidy. When I come back, there's sand, there's like ticket stubs, there's tchotchkes, there's stuff shoved in there to just get home by hook or by crook, right? So just ask yourself, why haven't you unpacked? Even asking yourself that question. Here's the thing I want to offer to everybody. Asking yourself a question and giving yourself that moment to listen for the answer. And the answer is not, I don't know. I don't know is like a kind of a throwaway statement that your brain offers you to mark time and to avoid it. Kind of runs interference. I am so not like a sporty person, but it gets in the way of the real answer or a answer that's closer to the what's really going on, right? So notice anytime you say I don't know, kind of say, whoops, that was just like a toss away sentence. What if you did know? If you had to give an answer, what would you say? It doesn't have to be right. Just notice that. But please, again, please, oh please, oh please, for you, for your life, for your home, for your happiness, ask yourself questions and don't be afraid of the answer. The answer to your questions inside is going to set you free. It is. And this is what it's all about, Charlie Brown. Okay? User 702-631-221-0303. I hope you don't have to sign your thing there. How do you get rid of something you love but do not want to look at? Easy peasy. First of all, if you love it, you don't need to get rid of it if you don't want to. Y'all, you get to decide what you keep. You get to decide what you get rid of, right? Oh my God, I just said right. If you love it and you don't want to look at it, put it somewhere where you don't often have to look at it. Seems simple to me. I don't know. See if that works. What else do we have here? Okay. Surface clutter is my downfall. Out of sight, out of mind. Kristen, I say this with just curiosity and compassion. Do you have evidence in your life, in your home, where out of sight is not out of mind? Do you have things that are behind doors or in drawers that you know that they are there? I'm thinking you might, unless absolutely everything in your entire home is on display 24/7. And maybe it is. I don't know. This is the thing about doing a TikTok live versus one-on-one coaching, right? Boy, did I catch myself on that one. Give me grace, people, okay? Notice this. Notice what I am doing. This will help you. You have habits in your life. You have habits with clutter. When you notice them, the best thing to do is kind of, as you catch yourself doing that habit, stop and redirect. Notice I discovered or was reminded of the fact that I tend to say right a lot as a verbal punctuation. I noticed it. Now I notice it and I'm catching myself and redirecting. And it's awkward at the beginning because you're so used to just saying it. If I didn't notice it, it would be just rolling off my tongue. Right? Right? So notice if you have examples of when surface clutter, out of sight is not out of mind. This is for everybody. I deal with clients that have ADHD sometimes. I have that. It runs in my family, so I know what this is like. And this is what I like to suggest because this is how I approach this. I truly believe that in the best way possible, every single brain on the planet is different. Every single brain works differently. Find a system that works for you and your brain to get the results you want in the easiest way possible. Okay? What does that mean? It means if you can train yourself to do things, you can get in the habit of putting things away and knowing that they are behind a door or in a drawer. Okay? Auntie Lynn. Oh, 7 Best is saying, I'm new. Chunk it down? Yes. Okay. Chunk it down. Overwhelm, right? I just noticed that. Overwhelm is a feeling that is big and above you and causes you to lose energy or not have energy and stay stuck. What I mean when I say chunk it down, it means that if you notice it, you're saying, my entire house is too cluttered. I've been cluttered my entire life. Oh my gosh, I have too many clothes. All of these superlative, dramatic words. The antidote, the opposite, the way to get going from overwhelm. And because people say, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know how to get started. Number one, like if that was a hashtag, that's the one coming up every single time on one of these things. The antidote to that is to make things smaller. Overwhelm is too big, make it small. I say chunk it down because you've got a process. You've got 100 pieces of clothing, 1,000 pieces of clothing in your closet. That's overwhelming. You chunk it down. You say, I'm only going to focus on, like taking a picture, these 10 garments. And I will make decisions, each one of these individually, these 10 garments. Then I go, that's a chunk. Then I go to the next chunk, and then the next chunk, and the next chunk. It's like a step on a journey. It's like a mile on a road trip. It's like taking the 40 hours it would take me to drive from Pennsylvania to Palm Springs, California, taking that 40 hours and not being overwhelmed by it and saying, I can chunk that down. I can drive an hour a day for 40 days. But if I do 2 hours a day, I get there in half the time. I get there in 20 days. Ooh, if 2 hours gets me there in 20 days, maybe I could take 4 hours of driving and get there in 10 days. Notice how you can chunk it down and you can determine the chunks. Make them small enough so you start. But also know the more chunks you do, the sooner you just get there, the sooner you're just freaking done and you're living in the decluttered life. Okay? I notice I said okay and not right. It's kind of the same thing, but I can only deal with myself a little bit at a time. Okay? Okay, what do we have? Oh, a whole bunch of things here. Let me see. Okay, user 138226. I'm in the process of decluttering now. It's overwhelming. Notice, overwhelm keeps you stuck. Chunking it down, saying, I can do this. I can start small to get started. It's like when you're in your car and you just need to turn on your ignition and get in gear to get going. Once you do it, what do you call that? Momentum gets into play. There we go. Okay. Darcy is saying, what if you just don't have a place to put things? I don't know if you just don't have. Get curious about the garage is musty. I want to store by season. Okay. Notice the stuff that is already stored. What is already in your storage areas? Ask yourself, is that stuff I really want? Maybe it's stuff I used in the past. Do I need it now? it becomes a math problem at a certain point. It really does. It takes the drama out of it to say, my house is a finite size. I have a finite amount of storage. And what things am I going to allow to take up that valuable real estate? Things that you have from back in the day, you may have enjoyed back in the day, and you are the one. You're always going to be the one to determine what you have and what you keep. As I say, should I stay or should I go? But just get curious about, do you even use those things? I mean, when was the last time you used some of this stuff in storage? Your lack of use will often indicate you've already made a very low level but unconscious decision that is something that's not important to you anymore. I'm thinking of this case in point. Okay, it's Labor Day weekend, almost. It's Friday, long weekend. My husband and I love to go to the beach. We haven't been to the beach the entirety of the summer. We've done other traveling, and here's a funny thing. We have 2 beach chairs, and you know what? I'll be honest, I don't even know where our beach umbrella is. And you know why? It's because we go so infrequently that when we go down to the beach, we treat ourselves, because the beach we go to has this thing that we didn't have in Massachusetts, where you can pay somebody a couple of bucks, rent a couple of chairs, they set up a big umbrella for you, and so you don't have to drag that stuff back and forth. So it's interesting for me to realize I have beach chairs. I use them infrequently. Now, they're not in the way, and I know exactly where they are, so I'll probably keep them. But just notice the stuff that you have from the past that you may not be using as often, and just ask yourself, do I need them? If the answer is no, then you've made more space in your storage for them. Okay? Ha ha ha. Not your mama. How do I get my husband's junk out of the shed? He won't allow it. Ugh. Yeah, you don't. You don't. Okay? How would you feel? Put the shoe on the other foot. How would you feel if somebody else came and moved your stuff? You'd be probably resentful. Don't touch my stuff's good stuff. Your stuff. Get your hands off my stuff. You can inspire your husband by dealing with your own stuff and showing up and modeling good behavior and how it looks and feels and it functions better when you do it. It might have a positive ripple effect. I will share this with you. So I mentioned Upthread, and for anybody who's new, I just noticed that the numbers kind of went up. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. Destination Decluttered is my whole thing. DestinationDecluttered.com is my website. If you want to sign up for my mailing list, it's free. I'll talk about that later, just because but also like my page if you want to. I do one-on-one coaching via Zoom for a 10-week package, my paid coaching. I, at the moment, have a couple of clients that are partners, you know what I mean? Like husband and wife. So the interesting thing is that, and then I have another client, I was just thinking about this, who is in a relationship, but the gentleman in the relationship is not in the coaching, but he has started to work on his own stuff because she is showing how much easier it is she's showing up doing the things that's now inspiring him. Do you know how hard? Okay, how about this too? You know how hard it is to change yourself? Right here, I know how hard it is to change myself. It is so hard to change yourself, and you are inside your own skin 24/7. You're up here all the freaking time. And you can't do it sometimes. It's really hard. It is near impossible to change somebody else. They have to want to change themselves. Okay, here we go. Mary Hinchcliffe is saying setting timers and giving yourself breaks works. Also rewarding yourself for finishing chunks. Mary, spot on. All the things. Chunking it down by time. Chunking it down by giving yourself a break. Don't make it, again, this is a road trip. This is not a commute. There's no bonus points for like, oh, look at me. I drove 8 hours today. You know what you did? You probably drove past some cool things you could have pulled over and enjoyed and still gotten there. I would much rather you take a week longer than you think you're going to get to your destination and enjoy the journey, because life is the journey, or the journey is life. Well, both. Okay. And also, yes, reward yourself. Liz Lemon, high five right there. Reward yourself for doing the chunks. Okay. Tracy had asked Upthread, why do I have a TWA bag? Because I love to travel. I love vintage stuff. And that reminds me of 2 things. It reminds me of traveling. Notice how I, for myself, have it strategically placed right there, kind of underneath my destination pin. This says to me, destination travel. This says to me, because I got it at the TWA hotel at the JFK airport in New York, that I want to go to more cool hotels. So I see that and I'm like, yep, that's part of my destination. Okay. Carolyn's Clean Critters is saying, I'm new. My problem is that I never know where to put things, so it just ends up in a pile. what I want to offer to you and for everybody is put it in a place that makes sense. Give it a home in a place that makes sense to you and your brain and the way your home is laid out and your routines. Make it so that when you say, where does this go? Make it the easiest place for you to get it, to use it, and put it away. Work with your own unique system and find that out. There was a game changer when I was on a client call recently this week when we said, we go through, like, what do you usually do? And it's like, oh, well, I try on the clothes and I don't like them. So then I take them off, but then I have a donation bag, but it's like in the other room that I have to walk out and go and then put it in there. So I typically don't do that. So I said, well, here, experiment with putting the donation bag literally right next to where your clothes are. I have them hanging off of like the back of pretty much any door that we have that's near a closet that has clothes in it. So you try it on, immediately you're like, I'm done with this. You can put it back and put it in a donation bag. Notice your own habits, your brain, all those things are very kind of, what do I want to say, like bespoke. That's what like one-on-one coaching is. It's personalized to you. It's bespoke. It's specific to you. On TikTok lives and when I do the group Zoom calls for the people on the Destination Decluttered mailing list, I can only speak in somewhat generalities, but they all apply. Okay. Ooh, I got a lot of things to catch up with. I'm going to go backwards. Ms. Ma'am says I work in 2-hour chunks. It's working. I love it. Somebody framed their t-shirts and oh, here's a cool thing. Somebody is quilts out of them. I see this Ashland, Mass. Best golfer. I just read in the Globe about how there's like bees taking over in one of your parks. It's crazy. I have a friend from college radio who's from Ashland. I have family in Ashland as well. In Ashland. There we go. Yes, and Linda B, I wish Mass beaches had that too, but you know what? All we get up there is rocks. Rocks, Johnny. Somebody mentioned something up here. Yeah. Organize the craft closet a little bit at a time. Good morning, Sunflower. Nice to see you. Getting the motivation to even start is overwhelming. Mallory, why are you even doing it? And I'm not saying that in a judgy way. I'm saying it in a curious way. Get excited about why you're doing it. It's going to increase the likelihood that you will show up and do it. This is all sorts of good stuff here. Here's an interesting thing. Yeah, Kristen Bedard, when you have ADHD, your piles serve as little visual reminders of your to-do list. I get it. I do visual reminders myself because I realize how often I need to be reminded to do some things. However, if your piles are there for too long, they cease to be the reminders. They are not reminding you to do something and then being taken away because the thing is done. Notice how many times your piles grow roots and just stay there. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm struggling with 4 basically adult children, says Carol Lee, who have not completely moved out. And the short time they are home, we only get so much done. Here's the thing I want to offer to you, Carol, and to everybody. This is how I coach. I coach with the belief that decluttering is a life skill. No matter how young or how old or in the middle you are, it is an important skill to learn and practice and get better at. The reason I say that is because at the core of it, at the simple, basic root of decluttering is you asking yourself a question internally. What is this thing? Do I want it in my life? Listening for the answer, yes or no, and then acting accordingly. If I want it, I keep it. Where does it go? In a place that makes sense to me so I can easily get to it, use it, and then put it back. If I don't want it, that is okay too. What's the easiest way I can remove it from my life? That is a process in your brain that will serve you for the rest of your life. So what I suggest to you, Carol, maybe, is to think about that with your kiddos. I love that if they haven't completely moved out, I think of this. I'll be frank. I don't have kids. I have nieces and nephew. But I know that even in nature, the mama bird helps the baby birds learn things so she can push them out of the nest. And even if you are being an awesome parent and allowing them to stay in the nest, teaching them these life skills of picking up after yourself, about making decisions about your own things, about doing what you say you're going to do, All of these things are going to just benefit them even more, not only when they're living with you, because then their life looks and feels and functions better while they're there. When you push them out, when they are leaving the nest, when they're flying the coop, all these analogies, right? They will be so much, I just said right. They will be so much better human beings on the planet. They will be more able to live independently on their own and have a nice, tidy place. They will be able to be better roommates. They will be better partners, all the things, better employees. Just notice that. All right, here we go. Okay, somebody said okay, how do I convince my 18-year-old son to get rid of some of his large sweatshirt collection? Again, copper glitter. I don't know. Why do you want him to do that? If he wants to keep them, he's 18 years old. Is it that they take up too much room? Here's the thing, everybody, all of us. Notice when you're coming at a situation with judgment. You're being judgy. You need to get rid of those. I think you have too many sweatshirts. I think you have too many sweatshirts. Can you imagine if I said that to you? I came into your house, you have too many sweatshirts. I'm telling you, I can be stubborn as all get out. I'm from New England. I can dig my heels in like nobody's business. Somebody says that to me, even if I kind of know they're right, I don't want to prove them right. I'm going to dig in my heels and be like, you're not the boss of me. Am I right? That wasn't a phrase I didn't really use right. Notice that, but just get curious. Hey, I see you have a lot of sweatshirts. Are you wearing them all? Do you like them all? Why is it even an issue? Is it an issue because there's not enough storage space for them? Just come in with curiosity. For any situation about clutter involving external people, but also turn that inward. Don't judge yourself. Do not beat yourself up about your clutter. All that does is drain your energy and not get started. Oh, this is so stupid. Why did I do this? I'm such a dummy. I'll never get done. Blah, blah, blah. Right? I just said right again. You know what? It's going to be what it is. Just notice when you talk about yourself, treat yourself nicely. Talk to yourself nicely inside. This is the life coaching part of decluttering and decluttering your life. You're going to have some thoughts in your head. They're going to make you feel a feeling, and when you feel a feeling, you do a thing. Notice I'm using both of my hands right now, and this is one of my alliterations, your head, your heart, and your hands. You have a thought in your head. It makes you feel a certain way in your heart, and when you feel a certain way in your heart, you do something with your hands. Now notice that was the two-handed method, the general basis. Notice how I'm now making a line down the middle of my body. This is when, if you're anybody who coaches with me, I'm always talking about folding the piece of paper in half. We folded the piece of paper in half. One column, one side over here is going to be your unhelpful thoughts. Your unhelpful thoughts, you're really, beating yourself up, using negative words, discouraging yourself, being mean, judgy, all those things. That's going to make you feel like crap. And when you feel like crap, I don't know about you, but when I feel like crap, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to change anything. Even if I know my habits are just digging me further in, I will keep doing them when I feel like crap. However, this line right here, there's another side. On the other hand, on the other side of an unhelpful thought is a helpful thought. You know it's a helpful thought because it's going to be pretty much the opposite of the unhelpful one. You know it's helpful because it's going to make you feel better. Instead of discouraged, you get courage. Instead of drained, you feel energetic. Instead of hopeless, you feel hopeful. Notice all the opposites. And when you're telling yourself better things and you're feeling better, then you're going to do some better things. Start inside. And then work outwards. Okay, somebody mentioned a quilt. I just got to show it because I remembered to bring it here. This is not an infomercial, but I will say I did this thing. I made a quilt with my t-shirts. I didn't make it. I sent it away to a place that's going to make it. I don't make it. I'm not crafty, right? And here's a fun thing. I paid somebody. I got 2 of these made. One for me with my t-shirts, right? Oh, check this out. This t-shirt I made in 1980 something in my graphic arts class. That's how old I am. But I kept it all these years, but I never wore it. And then I was like, what am I going to do with it? But it reminds me of that time. And I still, gosh, that is such a good logo. I just love it. And actually, I think I made that up. Sorry, I digress. I'm walking down memory lane. You can get this done too. It does take some work. You need to cut out the pieces on the front. There's coupons out there, but you can do this. And now I have it. It's just a small one too. I like having a little lap blanket when it gets chilly. I don't want something on my bed. I don't want that on my bed. I don't want a bed-sized one, but I got a lap blanket made for me. I got one for my husband on his. Try it. Okay, here we go. Okay, Gypsy in 19582 says, it seems like I'm moving it from one place to another. I'm kind of going backwards here, so I've mentioned this stuff. Yep, partner who hoards. Okay, this is what happens when I work backwards. Then whatever. Jen stumbled upon me this morning. Now I'm so inspired. Awesome. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Like my TikTok page. I do TikTok lives a wicked lot. The people who are on my Destination Decluttered mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join, already know when I'm going to be there next week. I will do a video. I guess I should probably do it today. I don't know. I always put a video on the top of my TikTok and I pin it to let you know the schedule. But the people on my mailing list already know about that. I haven't talked about my mailing list a lot. I'll do that in a bit because I don't feel like getting into salesy mode or whatever. Yeah, Miss Crentis Ultivox, right? Gen X right here. Okay. Mary Hinchcliffe says, I love your lives. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. So Gypsy said, it feels like I'm moving stuff from one place to another. That may have been related to another thing up thread. Regardless, notice the moving from one place to another is not decision making. I mean, it's deciding to move it from point A to point B, but it's not saying, do I want this or not? And it's not saying, if you're just moving it from point A to point B, also, if I want it, where's a good place for this thing? Just notice that. I love it. Dragonfly Kisses is going to a consignment store near Sam's Club, just enough time to drop off a bag of clothes. You do that. You do that. Space bags are a good solution for bulky items. Yeah, I was just on a call yesterday with a client from Massachusetts, since we get some Massachusettsians here, and we were talking about the fact that she had some bedding that was taking up a lot of room when we talked about space bags. I don't use them, but I've heard of them. I think they're cool. All right. What about emptying a whole room outside like that show on TV years ago? Okay. That's TV. That's TV. They do that for drama. That looks dramatic on TV. Do you notice? Okay. Don't do that in real life. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but man, you're going to have a whole yard full of stuff and you're going to be like, I don't even know what to do with this. Wow. They have a whole team of people on television. Okay. They have a whole team of people on television, and notice about TV. It's fake. It's totally fake. They rush through things. They make people get rid of stuff that they don't want. They also speed up. They say, here you are. Look at how horrible it looks at the beginning. And in a half an hour, you need to be after. It looks amazing, right? They freaking speed up the tape. They take a week, but they speed it up because this part right here is what gets you from here to there. But they don't even, they think, TV makes you think that it's going to take a little bit of time. I'm not saying it's going to take forever, but it will take some time if you want to do it right. My music people, help me out. You know that song? Take the time, do it right. You can do it, baby. Do it tonight. I love that song. I don't know who does it. If somebody knows, can you put it in the thread? Okay. Just notice that. Do you think if you have dishes all the time, throw some away? No. I say, do your dishes, silly. Just do your dishes and get in the habit of doing them more frequently. Why? Or I would say this, if you have too many dishes, if you have here's an interesting thing. Notice this about the quantities of items you have in your home. If you have so many things that you can keep on using them and keep on using them without ever cleaning them, if you reduce the quantity of dishes you own, then you will be required to do the dishes more frequently because you will run out of dishes. Notice that. Same thing with clothes. Saying, oh, I don't need to deal with these because I'll just wear some others. It just is an avoidance of making a decision. Okay. What about a partner who hoards? Any way to make this work? Yeah. Get curious about it. Approach it with love and compassion and curiosity, not judgment. And also, please, I will say this to you and to everybody, because we were talking about TV. Hoarding is an official diagnosis in the DSM-5. It is best treated by a qualified, licensed mental health professional. Notice that Some people use the word hoarder like like a lowercase h, like I just have a wicked lot of stuff. It's more like descriptor. Other times it could be something that is based in trauma from the back in their day. I mention that because this is one of the reasons why when people want to coach with me, I do a consultation beforehand. And this is because I am not a licensed mental health professional, nor do I ever care to be. I am a certified life coach, and this is my lane. And so when I do consultations with people, if they want to coach with me, I do that to make sure that what you are struggling with is something I can help you with. And if it's not, with kindness and love in my heart for you as a human being, I say, there's other help out there than me. Just know that, okay? So if you think you're a hoarder, if you've been diagnosed, something like that, my TikToks may help you, but I want to just let you know that my coaching may not. Now, I work with tons of people. I literally was thinking about it today. I have clients ranging from ages 25 to 75, if not plus. And if you're not, so the hoarding with your partner, get curious with love and compassion about that, but also notice how you deal with your stuff. Work on your own self. And that's going to help. Just looking. Woo, there we go. Oh, thank you very much. Joyfully Me and Scatkinson says the SOS band. Thank you. There we go. Yes, Jen, thank you. My kids start cleaning because I lower my expectations when they are done and walk around and feel good. Notice the feeling good, okay? So when I was talking earlier, gosh, today is flying. I wish I could hang out more. I will just let you know I'm only on for about another 13 minutes or so. Then I have to hop on and do coaching and consultations for half a day. So I will tell you some stuff beforehand, and now I've totally forgotten what I was going to say. Your destination decluttered, your destination for your home, the destination for your life. Use these 3 prompts and fill them into you. What do you want your home/life to look like? What do you want your home/life to feel like? Notice how Sunflower says, when they are done, they walk around and feel good. Good, better, best. Good and better is awesome. What do I want my home to look like? What do I want my home to feel like? And how do I want my home to function? Easily and simply with the minimum amount of time spent on home stuff so that you have the maximum amount of time to go out and live. Like, what was her name? Not Auntie Mame, maybe it was. I lived. Anyhow, I'll get to that. That's more show tunes. Notice that. Look, feel, and function in your home and in your life. There we go. And Mary, thank you for recommending to Jen. Listen to her YouTube recordings while you declutter. It's great. So thank you so much for saying that, because a couple of things. This is when I'll go into like the whole, this is what I got to offer. Like just to let you know how many resources there are from me for you, for your decluttering. I do TikTok lives, not at the same time every week, not on the same day every week. I schedule those and I put a video pinned to the top of my TikTok page about when it's going to be there. So you can look at that and you can pencil it in to show up. Also, if you like my TikTok page, TikTok will notify you when I go live. So please like my TikTok page. Makes it easy for you, makes it easy for me. So that's the TikTok lives. These TikTok lives too, the neat thing is I'm able to record them here on TikTok and then download them from here. And then I upload them to Destination Decluttered over on YouTube. Now, this was something that I never even thought of, but somebody who was on one of my early TikTok lives said, hey, do you record these? I'd like to listen to them later. Never occurred to me, but I'm always up for being open for suggestions. So I did that. And much like Mary said, it has been proven to be wicked helpful to a lot of people to have them kind of on demand when I'm not live and when you want to listen to them when you're decluttering. It's just like ADHD people, about, I want to say the buddy system, but like mirroring or what do you call it? Body doubling. Same type of thing. It's just, a friendly voice behind you saying, you can do this. You got this. You can do it. And you can do this. This stuff isn't wicked hard, you guys. Don't make it harder than it has to be. If you're making harder on yourself, get curious about that. Okay. But I am here for you. So TikTok lives, that's that. The other thing I also do, oh, also just real quick, I don't show up live, but I do have a presence on Instagram and Facebook where I also post the like recorded videos that I do here on TikTok. My TikTok videos I do on Facebook and Instagram at Destination Decluttered. I do that mainly for people who are not on Facebook, or excuse me, who are not on TikTok. I just want people to know that there's help out there. So if you know people who are struggling with clutter and stuff and they are not on TikTok, just let them know that Destination Decluttered is on Instagram if they're on Instagram. And if they're on sorry, cute little kids are walking by with their moms. Let them know that I'm there on Instagram, on Facebook, Destination Decluttered. The other really cool thing, let me share this with you too, is the Destination Decluttered email mailing list. Now, some of you might be on it. If you were, hopefully you got this morning's email. This is really the center of where all the good stuff happens. You hear it first. This morning's email sent out the dates for next week's TikTok Lives that I haven't even announced to the world. It gave them a sneak preview of the coaching consultation slots on my calendar, so that if you're interested in starting coaching with me for my 10-week paid package, you get first dibs on those slots, because next week, like because of the holiday, I don't have a lot. So they get first dibs on that. What else do you get? Oh, we do a monthly Zoom. A group Zoom call just for the members of the people on the TikTok, on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list. And how you get on that is wicked easy. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. All you do is you put in your email address. You promise that you're not a robot. You get on the mailing list. I see a couple of people have already done that. And just know that. And then the last and best thing that I do, I think it's the best, is I do one-on-one coaching with people. One-on-one, you and me on Zoom. I'm not in your home. So I have clients all over the world, well, all over the country. It'd be fun to have international someday. 10 weeks, you and me, an hour a week on Zoom, focusing on nothing but you. You. Where you are now, but even more important, where do you want to go? And let's make a road trip and get there. I teach you strategies and systems to declutter, different ways of thinking and acting. We make up roadmaps so you get stuff done every week, take snapshots from the road. You leave the coaching not only looking and feeling and functioning better in your home and your life, but also with a set of skills, a toolkit of skills that you can use for the rest of your life. So if you're interested in that, the very first step is to get onto the Destination Decluttered email mailing list. Again, DestinationDecluttered.com/join. Okay, enough of that. Let me use the next 7 minutes here to my best possible thing. Yay. Okay, what do we have? Yes, Ms. Krentis, thank you. And thank you so much. There we go. I'm on a roll. Linda Moser Gear. I'm on a roll. The endorphins are kicking in. Notice that and embrace it. Embrace the energy you have. But notice, please, everybody, we will all get all like energized and be like, I'm gonna change the world. That energy is finite. Harness it while you have it. But also, even more importantly, is noting how to generate it when you don't necessarily have it. This is that motivating yourself every day to get up out of bed and do the things you need to do the things you want to do. So if you want a decluttered home, you know that getting up and doing a little bit at a time is going to be it. Learn to motivate yourself. I can show you tools. These videos will help you, but the best thing ever is to be able to generate your own energy and not be relying on other people to do it. There we go. Addison 8, it took me 7 hours to organize my closet. I got up at 5 a.m. and worked until it was done. Now, Addison 8, that rocks for you if you want to do it. I hope you enjoyed the process. But what I want to offer to everybody, if that seems arduous and, oh my gosh, I don't have 7 hours, and that it puts up what I call like roadblocks in front of you to even start, know that you can take breaks. You can do a little bit at a time. It doesn't have to be a marathon. It can be, I don't know, a couple of sprints. It can be an amble for all you want, right? Oh, thank you. Can I offer, this is the thing I love about, one of the many things I love about having created Destination Decluttered is the fact that immediately, every single time I do one of these TikTok lives, an awesome community of people is created. It's different people every week. It's some people, some names I recognize, and I love it when we are all helping each other. Like, Ms. Krentis is here. and she has been here, and I bet you have a clutter problem, right? But you also have something that you can help somebody else with. You have the knowledge of the fact that if you join my email mailing list, I do Zoom calls that gives opportunity for smaller groups. I will say too, I am thinking of doing a group coaching thing in the beginning of the year. I'm not there yet. It was just an idea that came to me on my morning walk, and I think there's some there. I think it's going to be, it could be fun. And so I'm playing with that idea. I like to have fun. I don't like to make things dramatic and serious and arduous and like blah. When it's fun, I like to show up. When I have fun, I get stuff done, and it just makes it more enjoyable. The reason I'm giving you that sneaky thing that happened just in my brain this morning about doing a 10-week group session thing from January, February into March, haven't figured it out, is the people that are going to get first dibs on that are going to be the people on the email mailing list. So get yourself on the mailing list if you're interested in that, Charlie Brown, okay? And Mommy Salami, destinationdecluttered.com/join is my mailing list. Now, I don't really mean to sound like I'm infomercializing at the end here, but I just want to give you resources. Because, like, for example, funny thing is, where's my list for the day? I am, today's Friday, right? I said right. It's okay. I'm noticing it. I might change it. I might not. So I am going to be doing some TikTok lives next week. I am looking. Yep. I'm going to. And the people who know about them is the TikTok are the people on the Destination Decluttered mailing list. So I will show up. I will make a video maybe later today about stuff. But it's just a cool place to be. Okay. Okay. There we go. Group coaching sounds like great support. Yep, I figured. Yeah, okay, see, thank you very much. Okay, user 196338777. I've never joined a Zoom yet. I love the word yet. Can I just share with you? Who was I with? I feel like it's my friend Jessie who owns a vintage store. I gotta check this out. The word yet. I will leave you with this. I haven't done this. I haven't done it. ... Yet. Yet is a word of possibility. I haven't traveled internationally lying on those lie-down seats yet. I haven't gone to the Maldives yet. I have not gone to New Zealand yet. I have not, whatever. Yet will help you. I remembered saying this to, as I said, I'm going to have to check with him to see if it is, but I said that to him, and literally he pulled up his sleeve and he had the word yet tattooed on himself. So notice that. If you haven't done anything is bullshit. You've done awesome stuff in your life so far, and you will continue to do it. But if there are things in your life that you want to do, you just haven't done them yet, baby. Okay? You just haven't done it yet. But what can you do to start today to get there? All right? This is the life coaching part of the decluttering. Because decluttering gets you out of your home and out in the world, because you're not surrounded by stuff that's keeping you stuck. You've solved this stuff. You can maintain your home like nobody's business, and then you're out in the world living. Okay? That feels like a really good time for me to shut off today. Okay? It has been a delight to meet a lot of you. Again, my name is Beth, Destination Decluttered. Like my TikTok page. That'll be wicked awesome. I will see you when I see you. I will be posting a video later today about my next, the next week's worth of TikTok lives. But please, I see a number of you are adding, joining the email list. Feel free to do that. I'm here for you. I want you to drive in the direction of your dreams. Okay. It's a road trip, not a commute. Have fun with it and have an awesome weekend. Okay, everybody? Awesome. All right, there we go. Yay. Bye. Oops, there's my giant finger. Here we go.